Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kumo Talk Season 2, Episode 3. I see we have Sir. Is Sir N? Is that how you say your name, Sir?
Hello. Hey, yes, you can call me sir.
Oh, hello, Sir. Nice to meet
Hello.
you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Happy to have you here. I see Wilea has come. Welcome, Wilea. I'm just going to bring you up. And hi, Coco, Kirk, and Lady LJ. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let me know if you got the invite, Willia. Awesome. Hello, welcome, y'all. Willia, if you can test your mic and see if you're working.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi.
We can hear you. Hello.
Great. Hello.
Awesome. Might need you guys to turn up your mics just a little bit because we're recording this and it's going to be put onto our YouTube in the near future.
Alright,
Okay.
is it better now?
It's a little bit on the quiet side. I don't know if it's just me though. Can people hear Wilea okay? Give me a thumbs up or something.
Check.
Check. I assume it's okay. I can hear you, but I don't know if it's because I'm talking very loud. Coco says yeah, it's good. Sir, Lady LJ said it's good. Sir, Kirk is also good.
Yeah, it's good. I can
just
hear
let
her.
me know anytime during the chat if I sound like muddy or anything. But
Okay, Grandy, and we can hear you perfectly too, sir. All good. Thank you. So I'm just gonna give a quick introduction. So hello and welcome to my beloved family here. Welcome to Kumo Talks episode 3. Just pull up my form. The things I need to say today. Okay. Oh, hello, Noxus. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about transitioning from the Web 2, which is more so the traditional space, to the Web 3 space as an artist or a creator. So today we have with us Sir, and we also have Wilea. So I'll just give a quick introduction to both of them. So Sir is Singapore's first BAFTA winning filmmaker. And so she's been in the film industry for 10 plus years now and has worked on a lot of movies, TV series, Hollywood, visual effects, productions, etc. As a producer, her live action and animated short films have been screened and won awards at over 100 international film festivals. She's a passionate storyteller concerned with social impact, building communities, and creating meaningful relationships through innovative ways, whether it's film, TV, or a tech product. She believes that the medium doesn't matter, the message does, which we here at Kumo's World totally resonate with. So good stuff there. Wilea's Way is.
Thank you for the love intro.
Oh, of course, sir. We love you. Walea is a digital artist and musician based in Chicago, and drawing from her background in architecture, Walea's artwork depicts otherworldly scenes with unconventional perspectives, surreal elements, and storytelling. So for those of you who haven't seen Walea's work, go check it out. It is I've seen it in person. I was actually at their place when I was in Chicago, and I was like so just amazed by the work that was just on the wall. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool to see it actually printed and framed. Not framed, it was actually on a canvas thing. It wasn't it? I can't remember. All I just remember was it was really cool. So thank you, Wilea and Sarah, for joining us here. And I guess before I forget, there will be a POAP which you guys will be able to claim, and it's a free, you could say, a free NFT. And this one, I will drop the secret code in about 20 minutes into the Kumo Talks. So bear with us, and if you want to POAP, do stick around. So I guess we can get cracking so with Wilea and Sarah. So I guess my first question for you guys, since you were both in the Web2 traditional space, how did you guys first learn or hear about NFTs? So I'll go in the order of how I see it here, which is Wilea's first, and then it's Sarah. So you guys can take turns. So Wilea.
Yeah, sure. So, I think I first heard about NFT uh, at the beginning of last year. When I was so it's like my story is a little bit kind of interesting because I have a background in architecture and I was working as an architectural designer before I started creating like digital art, which is like the body of art that I'm creating right now. So I started doing that about like 2.5 years ago, and then just kind of because I wanted to find another sort of creative outlet to kind of use what I have learned from my previous experience in the architecture world and maybe like transition that to something new. That's why I kind of like started exploring the world of digital art and about like the I think at the beginning of last year I kind of discovered NFT through like some clubhouse room or something like that because people were like keep mentioning the word NFT and I was like what is it and I quickly check it out because I mean back then because I was already doing a lot of digital work digital like kind of like visual work so I thought it makes sense for me to kind of give it a go and yeah I start trying and minting stuff and here I am right now.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Oh, I have so many questions for you as well, which we will get to. Sir, I would like to hear your from your side of things too.
Yeah, okay. So for me, it's a bit of a funny story. Because I went to a film school. It's called National Film and Television School in the UK. So in short, it's actually NFTS. Yeah, so there's one day I was like going on Google and looking at and I just typed NFTS and it used to be the first link that shows up on Google used to be the film school, but that day when I searched it, it was not the film school. It was something else. It was like non-fungible film, so non-fungible something something. So I got interested in it. I was like, oh, what is it? Why how did it take over the SEO of my film school? So I started reading into it. It was about April last year, and because I was in the startup world, so I was also in an accelerator, and there was like someone in the accelerator who was into NFTs. So I was curious what is NFT, so I just wrote her a message, and we did a call. So she told me what she's doing with NFTs is basically like putting and like putting what she's doing at the point was trying to put pictures onto the blockchain and giving it an sort of like an imprint. So that idea was interesting to me. At the point, I didn't really understand why do we need to do that, like why do we need to like put an imprint onto a JPEG, what's the difference. So actually I after that for about 6 months I didn't do anything with NFTs because I couldn't find an angle and my purpose in the NFTs. Yeah, until last year November when I was in Korea. Like everyone around me was talking about NFTs, and even my Facebook people were talking about, oh, you should get into NFTs now. So it got me interested in NFTs again, and this time around I was more serious about it. So I did a lot of research, and I realized that it really fit into the philosophy of that I something that I really believe in, which is like decentralization. because in my previous startup I was working a lot with creators and artists. So I felt like Web3 and NFTs actually gives us the tools to like to turn all this art into assets and ownership. This is all quite important to me, and I felt that I could do something in this space. That's why I looked into it since November last year and have been building in this space. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very interesting story there. How it all just kind of happened.
Yeah.
But so happy to have you here in the NFT
Yeah.
space. So really, like you
Yeah,
seem
it's
like
a long story.
it's a good story. It's a good story. And
Yeah.
so for both of you guys, have you, I guess, left the Web2 job that you were in before, and are you guys now like full time into Web3 or NFTs as a creator?
Yeah, for me, I'm now full time in NFTs. So my previous startup was actually an Asian cameo. So we were working with different creators and celebrities to create like video shoutouts. And we did something a little more creative. Like we involved like TikTok creators and even like some feng shui artists and or even like some composers to create video messages for your loved ones. Yeah, but since I've entered the NFT world, I've completely made a pivot. Right now, I've decided to be a creator myself, and I'm looking into different NFT projects, going back to my roots as a filmmaker and trying to create stories from NFTs, because I believe that there's a lot of IP potential from all the NFT projects. Yeah, and I would love to work with NFT creators and artists to make them into films or like further IP exploitation.
That is super super cool.
Yeah.
You sound like you have a lot, well, not sound like, I'm sure you have a lot of experience with like a lot of the traditional space that can be brought into the Web3 NFTs, and especially the project that you and your project are doing. So it's
Mm,
very interesting and excited to see where you guys are going to take it.
yeah, thank
Um
you.
Problem. So Alea, have you also dropped your full-time architecture design job?
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting, like, cause I quit my full time job in architecture about like 2 years, 2.5 years ago. That's when I started to create digital art, because for a short period of time, I was a little bit lost. I was like, I want to do something. I still want to do something creative, but yeah, I was just like kind of, I went through a little soul searching kind of period where I eventually landed with digital art, and during that time, I learned about NFT, and it just felt like such a natural transition to me, and I kind of jump into NFT, and then quickly I learned a lot about like Web3 and what it means to kind of be decentralized and have all these like what Sir was saying. I just feel like the a lot of perspectives in the Web3 world really aligns with my vision, and I just think that it's so important for independent artists and creators to kind of own to truly kind of own the right of your work to be the person who kind of like says yes or no to a lot of things, unlike a lot of things that are happening that happen and still happening in the Web2 world. I came from an industry that where I work with a lot of clients and stuff like that. So I really think that Web3 gives me a lot of freedom in terms of like creative direction and all that kind of things, which I didn't have as much back in the Web2 world, and that's one of the big reasons why I stay right now. But yeah, so back to the question. Yes, right now I'm full time in NFT.
Congratulations. That's um that's a really interesting thing. Like I feel like most, not a most, but for me as well, I was a wee bit lost in the, oh, what do I want to do with my life? I want to go into more creative ways of expressing myself. And yeah, I definitely think that the Web3 space is really good for artists, especially I know a lot of people who would have worked as, 3D engine or 3D modeling, or what do you call those? 3D modelers, or people who model a lot in 3D, like Blender or Octane. And like they do really cool stuff already, like with what their work is, but you don't actually ever see what they create as a creator when they don't have like the so-called direction from the clients. And so then when, for example, no creative abode, right? So he makes a lot of chairs and headsets and just the usual things that you'd probably see in adverts. But then when he creates from his mind, it's just so mind-blowing that you're like, wow, if you didn't have the NFT space, you wouldn't be showing your art for the world to see. It's really interesting to see how creatives think and how they imagine things to be, and that's why I think it's a really cool space to be in. And then another question I would like to ask y'all is, so you guys have now transitioned into the Web3 space as NFT creators. So in your experience as, I guess, from a Web3 into the from the Web2 into the Web3, like what are your experiences in this space that you would feel or do you think that there's like much difference as to when you were working in your traditional job?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel that now that I've stepped into Web3, it feels like I can't go back to a Web2 job anymore. Because Web3 is really about decentralization, about giving out a bit of control so that you involve like the community's help and you gain so much more in return. Unfortunately, a lot of the Web2 jobs are still very centralized. Like a few people at the top make the most of the decisions and own almost 100% of the assets. So I feel that um, if the corporates or whoever wants to transition to Web3, it's going to be quite difficult. Yeah, so that's why I guess like even Google or like Meta, they are trying really hard to see how they can fit into this Web3 space. Yeah, that's my view on Web3, and I feel that it would be really hard for me to go back to find a Web3 job a Web2 job right now. Because I'm really enjoying that freedom, like the ownership that Web3 gives me. Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say I really sorry. I was just gonna say I resonate a lot with what you just said, sir. Because I really I feel the same. I just feel like the kind of the turnaround time and the overall kind of decision making in the Web 2 world. It's such a kind of longer process than the ones in Web 3, because of like centralization and all those kind of things. You have to go through all these layers of management, and you have to like just a lot of back and forth, and then not in a way that's, in my opinion, I guess, efficient or transparent enough for a lot of things to happen quickly enough. Which is why I really really love the Web 3 space, because of the everyone could be proactive, everyone's voice hopefully could be heard by a bigger community, and we have a way more power. Like each individual creators and people who involve have way more power than what it is in a lot of Web 2 scenarios, and I just think it's such a good. I mean, at least to me, it's such a good like setup to what I was in before, like the environment that I worked in before. So yeah, I feel like I'm like totally like Web3 person now. It's probably a bit harder for me to transition back to the Web2 kind of way of thinking and stuff like that. But yeah, just thought I'd chime in.
That's awesome. Yeah, I agree with all of you guys. I see Sarah put her hand up.
Oops, sorry. I wanted to put a applause. I just clicked on the wrong button.
It's like, I wish to speak. I wish to speak. That is okay. That is, yeah, but definitely I agree with you guys that, in the Web3 space, there's definitely more of a community vibe that you wouldn't quite get in the Web 2. And it's really about building with people who believe in your project and believe in your vision. And I think it's such a beautiful thing to be able to have that, with people to support you. And the community is definitely something that is huge in the Web3 space that I think is very beautiful. um, so another question I would like to ask is, what do you think are some of the bigger challenges as an NFT artist or project founder, moving in from the Web2 space? Whoever would like to take it.
Um, well, I think to me, some of the things I start noticing is that because right now I work as an independent artist, and so as a lot of people I encounter in the NFT space, I just think that as creators, we usually I think a lot of us have the experience working with clients. We were given um, you know to a large extent, like creative directions and stuff like that. So in a sense, we were still working kind of in a team, creatively. But right now, like working as an independent artist, I just feel like a lot of times you have to make your own decisions, not relying on somebody else kind of telling you what to do. It's very empowering, like having that kind of creative power, but also at the same time, it could be a little bit from time to time you could be a little bit uncertain, like, oh, is this the right decision? Is this like the best thing to do? And it's just a lot of um kind of back and forth process to finally find the position that you're happy with. Uh, I'm still kind of in the journey of finding the balance point, but I think it's a very kind of big difference transition from the Web2 world to the Web3 and the NFT spaces to now you can finally have all these like creative freedom, but you also are fully responsible for the decision you make, which is also the fun part in my opinion. So yeah, it's exciting and also it's a learning curve for me as well.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Sir?
Yeah, for me, I think to build on what Willia said earlier, I think yes, there's a lot of responsibility as a creator, because initially when people step into NFTs as a creator, they would think like, okay, I just create my art piece, I sell it, and that's it. But it's actually just the beginning. Like the moment you sell your art, you're just beginning the community. You have to maintain the community. You have to work with the community to build your brand together. So actually, and selling an NFT collection is almost like starting a new business. Yeah. So there's a lot of responsibility involved, and I think we just have to be mentally ready for all the work that comes through, and having the community as part of this journey that you're embarking on. Yeah. So I think that's one big thing that a person has to consider if you want to start an NFT collection. One other thing is, unfortunately, NFTs sometimes have quite a bad reputation. So, for example, when I speak to my friends, like they would say that hey, NFT is a scam and all of that. So, it's hard to get some of the Web2 friends like involved and being supportive of what you're doing. So, but I think to me it doesn't matter if other people are doing scams or anything, as long as what I'm doing is not a scam. I'm ethical. I'm good to my community. I think that keeps me that helps me sleep at night. So I think it's important to be true to what you're doing, and to be fair to the community as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Regarding the scams, scams are everywhere. You know, you get them in the Web2 space as well with I guess you get scam companies or people that just are bad actors. And yeah, like you said, as long as you're true to yourself and are doing what you believe is a good vision for your community and for the project, and keep going with it. You know, don't give up. And yeah, to add on to Leia's point as well, yeah, there's a lot of also Sarah's point regarding like responsibility as an art creator and having to make your own decisions, because before the Web3 space, I was a software developer, and so I was just so used to being told, okay, you need to do this, and these are your tasks, and you have until this time to do it. Whereas now in this space, it's like there's a lot of decisions that need to be made. And yes, we have the creative power, but there's also a lot of other things that might, that I guess you can't really research on, because, you know, NFTs is so new. And there's a lot of kind of little challenges along the way for doing things. And then also like the Web2 space is quite routined and scheduled. You know, you have your 9 to 5 job. Once you're 5 o'clock, you can, you know, check out, and that's you done, and you don't have to think about work until the next morning at 9. But in the Web3 space, no one ever sleeps, or so it seems, because of all the different time zones that people are in. So the Web3 space, that's why I feel like moves a lot faster, because it seems like there is no rest time. And so it's important for people who are, you know, looking to transition from the Web2 space to the Web3 as an artist, to just remember that it's not it's not as simple as you think of just you know, minting a piece and selling it. There's a lot of mental challenges, as well as other challenges that are involved in becoming an NFT artist. And I guess like Willea would probably be more able to relate to this with selling one of one art. It's not like once you mint it, you sell it. Sometimes you could go like weeks or months not selling anything, and sometimes it can be a bit what's the word, not motivating, but you know, you have to kind of believe and keep working on what you are passionate about. And while you're doing that, it's not enough just to work hard and be in your own box for the whole time. You need to get out there and you need to network, you need to talk with people, because you might have the best art in the world, but if no one sees it and if no one knows about you, it's not really going to go anywhere, if that makes sense. So that's probably one thing that I would like to ask Wille, is that how did you, I guess, start selling your work on the different platforms, and how did you get on those platforms to sell your art?
Yeah, sure. So my Genesis drop, like my very first mint, obviously I had no idea what I was doing. I kind of just meant it on OpenSea, and but lucky enough, it got picked up fairly quickly within a day or two. And that's when I had my first collector. Yeah, that was some like really magical moment. Now thinking thinking back of it, but yeah, it's definitely a learning curve, like what you were saying, to kind of jump into a very new space to me, and before that, I wasn't really like active on Twitter. Just all the other aspect that comes um, into this, not just having like the best art you can, which obviously is an important part, but just all the other things that you need to take into consideration, like like networking and really try to build a community and to in a way like let people like know about you, and it's all like very important in the space because now you're truly working for yourself, like you like at least to me, I'm my own like PR person. I'm on my own like manager, and like in that sense, it's just a lot of. I feel like I learned a lot just by being in this space, and because that's. I mean, it's a good thing, but sometimes it also feel a bit challenging because it does take a lot of time. Um, Out of my, like as an artist, it would be ideal for me just kind of like sit in front of computer, just like make art all day. That would be the ideal situation. But I think in the NFT space, especially now when we're still in the earlier stage, it's definitely a building phase, and I think there's good and good and like challenging part that will come out of it. But yeah, back to the questions. Different platforms. So yeah, like my first name was on OpenSea, and then I kind of quickly learned about other platforms like Foundation and like Maker's Place, and now most of my one-on-one now are on Super Rare. So yeah, definitely a journey to kind of learn about different platform, which I kind of want to add quickly is that a lot of now there's so many platforms out there, and I've got like message about like joining like every other day, like literally. But I think it's important for artists, especially like someone like me who have a very heavy focus on one-on-one art, is to like really choose which platform that aligns with your vision the best. And because there's just so many out there, and I think choosing the right platform for your art will really um, like make yourself like one step ahead of things. And yeah, so yeah, that's just like from my opinions. But definitely try out different things. I think it's also important to like explore different options before you come to a conclusion. So yeah, if you're new to the space, I would definitely encourage you to kind of check out different things and see which one will work out the best for you.
I totally agree with you on that. There's just so many platforms for where an artist or creator can mint their work that it can be like, which is the best one to choose? Where do I upload? Because there's some collectors that won't collect if you're on multiple platforms, or that if you're on OpenSea, they don't collect one of one on OpenSea, they only collect it on Foundation or Super Rare. So regarding that, it's just like Wilea said, it's up to yourselves which platform resonates the most with you, and then with that, the collectors and the people will come eventually. So let them do their thing, and you do yours. But another point that you touched on was, which I thought was also very true, is that as artists, we don't really we would just like to sit and draw and create art. So having to manage a Twitter account and to do all the social media stuff is definitely something that is not I guess spoken a lot of before you get into the NFT space. So I had someone's art that I picked up last year, and he was big on Instagram, but he was practically non-existent on Twitter. And I had DM'd him on Instagram and said, "Hey, if you plan to make it into the NFT space, you're going to have to be a bit more active on your Twitter account." And he's like, "I don't have time." So not surprising that he hasn't quite gotten anywhere with the NFT stuff. Which obviously, as a collector of his work, I'm hoping that he will eventually, reach out into the Twitter spaces, not Twitter space, but like to Twitter, and and network with people on Twitter, because that's really where a lot of collectors or NFT people would see where you would get like max exposure for your stuff. That kind of applies to project founders as well as one-of-one artists. So whoever is doing the selling needs to be on Twitter. You need to get your work out there. You need to network. It's those kind of miscellaneous things that you wouldn't think you would need to do just because you're an artist. But I guess that's the joys of the Web3 space. You can do all that for yourself. um, I'm going to pause for now, take a break, and say that the POAP secret code, if you guys are here and you have your POAP application, you can open it up and type in the secret code Kumo Kumo Ko. Don't ask. It was Coco who set it up. So Kumo twice. So it's Kumo, Kumo, and then Ko at the end of it. So Kumo Kumo Ko, and that is all lowercase, all one word. And if you throw it into your POAP application on the phone, it doesn't work online on desktop. So you need to download the POAP application on your phone. And if you type in the secret code, you should get your POAP. I hope that works. I haven't done it yet myself. I might just go and check that out. It should work because let me try that. Kumo, Kumo, Ko. Yep, it is working. So go and claim your free NFT, your POAP. Okay. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. I am conscious of time. I am very I'm very good at timekeeping now. So while we're still talking, if anyone wishes to ask questions or join in on the conversation, feel free to request to speak and we will bring you up and you can chat with myself, Wilaya, and Sir. Or if you have any questions for any of us, feel free to ask as well. If you guys are in our Discord, feel free to drop your questions into residence chat or general. I am keeping my eye open there. So yeah. So I guess, sir, I just wanted to ask you, what plans do you have from transitioning from the Web 2 to the Web 3? Because you are a BAFTA winning filmmaker. So I think it'd be interesting to see what you have in mind for bringing that into the space.
Yeah, thanks for asking that. So I'm working on a animated short film that is based on the Doge meme. So I don't know if you guys have seen the Doge meme that inspired the Dogecoin. So it's like this really cute picture of a Shiba. So last year that picture got made into an NFT and sold to Pleaser DAO. So we are currently working with the owners of the NFT to turn the Doge NFT into a short animated film. So it will be a 10,000 frame film. So every second of an animated film has 12 unique frames. So to honor the tradition of 10,000 frame 10,000 NFT collection, we have decided to make a 10,000 frame NFT film. So it will be about 13 minutes long, and it's our love letter to the community, to the Web3 community at large. It will have we are really making all the memes like into a very serious story. About it's about a Shiba that wants to go to the moon and gets the help of a whale to get her there. Yeah.
Seeing you've done a lot of research into the NFT culture. Are they gonna
Yes.
make it? Are they gonna make it? Wag
Yeah.
me.
Yes, there's a it's a story of Wag Me. We're all gonna make it together.
We are. We're still really early in this space, so it's definitely kind of kicking off in the last few months. And the fact that we're still in the bear market and a lot of projects are still being launched every day just shows that there's still a lot more to come with the NFT space.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's definitely a lot of fun things to look forward to. I mean, like you said earlier, Sarah, was it Sarah that you said earlier that let me just see, you said, yeah, so there's a lot of responsibility, and then it's like building the brand with your community, right? So even if you're
Mm,
like a one-of-one artist, or if you're a project founder, it's all about building either your personal brand or the project brand. So
mm,
if you are, I guess, for those who are transitioning from the Web 2 to the Web 3 space as a creator, you have to think long term. And so, some days are going to be hard. Some days are going to be, wonderful. Hopefully there's a balance, more so on the wonderful side, but
mm.
nothing is ever as easy as it seems. I mean, like
Yeah,
some people, I know there's like some artists that are selling a lot, and but like we won't know what kind of effort or what work they put in to get to where they are. So it's important that if this is something that you want to do in the long run as an artist or as a creator, like don't give up just because it's challenging. You should face a challenge and take it on as I'm gonna fight this. It's good. This is my passion, and really work on it. And people will start to see, when artists are dedicated in their works, it
yeah.
becomes evident.
Absolutely. I think it's not just being an artist or a creator. You have to be entrepreneurial, and you need a team. Like you have mentioned earlier, it's not just creating the artwork. You have to build a community. You have to know a bit of tech to deal with the smart contract. You may even need a bit of legal knowledge to think about the IP rights for your NFT. So there's a lot involved, and it goes beyond being an artist or a creator.
Yeah, for sure. Like it is not easy. It is not easy, guys. If you think it's just scribbling a few drawings, I mean, maybe for some it is. But again, that really depends on what part of the NFT, as a creator, that you're going. If you're going for a project, then yes, a team will definitely be very useful. Whereas if you're a one-on-one artist, I think it's more uh flexible. It's more kind of forgiving if you don't have a full team, because you have that time to do things. Because I know Wilea is working with Noxus, and they make NFT together with music and digital art. So I don't believe, do you have a team, Wilea, or are you just the two of you guys?
Well, for my you know creative work, it's just me, and then yeah, sometimes like my last piece, I team up with Naxis, because as a musician myself, music is also something I really want to incorporate into my work overall. So I just thought it would be fun to like really kind of combine both aspects. But yeah, for as an artist, I'm just like working for myself. I don't have a team. It would be nice eventually, but yeah, right now it's just me. And yeah, I also want to kind of add something is that kind of resonate with what piggyback with what both of you were saying, is that yeah, I think it's also important to have the more like realistic, as I guess, aspect to what you're doing. There's so many different paths in the space, as one artist or as like a project builder. It's all different. I mean, they do share a lot of like common grounds, but just a little different like nuance in between one and another. And just it doesn't have to be just one, but choose your own path and then set the realistic expectation, and of course like work towards it, and then you will get somewhere.
Amen. Amen to that. And also on the point of I can't remember, I think it was something that I said earlier, or maybe not, maybe I was just thinking of it. But if you are only starting to think about transitioning from the Web 2 to Web 3 as an artist or creator, I would not recommend quitting your job right now, because now is probably, um, I mean, now is kind of like the bear market in the NFT space. So unless you have a good sort of volume for selling art, or that you can support yourself with what you have already, then I don't think it is a great idea to completely give up your job and go full time into NFTs unless you can support yourself. Because, like I said, you might not be selling straight away, and that we have to be realistic. Like Willia said, we have to be realistic in this space. And maybe if it was like 2 years ago at the very start, before many of the people started the NFT, um for selling their NFTs, maybe it would have been easier, because I remember going on TikTok and someone said, "Oh, I just made this spinning cube for I don't know, it took me 30 minutes to make, and someone just bought it for 200K. Such an easy sell." And I was like, well, yeah, I guess when people don't really know know much back then, right? But now it's definitely not the same as it was 2 years ago or a year ago. So yeah, do your research and really kind of have a realistic point, or like a perspective on this, and whether, you know, whether you have a cloud that will support your work, or if you have to start from scratch. There's a lot of factors to count into when you're thinking of doing this full time. And I know Willia has been in the space for over a year now, so she's definitely kind of, made her ground in this space. So congratulations there. And yeah, I know Sarah is also very well known in her field as well. So um there's just a lot of things to think about if you are not um established in your field. You'll have to kind of think about how you're going to do all the networking, transitioning, marketing, social media. So yeah, a lot of things to think of, guys. But if you keep up with it and you take on the challenge, you will be rewarded. So you just have to, I guess, yeah, consider many things when you're starting off. So yeah, I guess I don't have any other questions to ask you guys. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to add, or to share, or any advice or tips that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Hey, I just want to say that you have done an absolutely amazing job building out your community, and also like having the really awesome artwork as well. It's not easy. Yeah, so congratulations to you too.
Thank you so much, sir. You're so sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's me, but I think is it your audio is a bit glitchy?
Oh, me? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I can hear you now. Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
okay. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you. I see Willia has unmuted.
No worries.
Oh no, I just want to like kudos to you for building like this whole project because I remember back in the days where we would in the voice chat at the NFT Asia like room, and it was just like fun time. Like that's when I like first knew about you and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just really amazing seeing you came this long way to from you know someone who, I mean, I still love your one-on-one work, but like from an artist to someone who like built such a big community, and with all the other elements and effort that um, come along with it, it's just amazing to see like your journey in this space. So yeah, really happy for you.
Oh, thank you guys. What is this? I should have this more often, please. Share me with compliments. No, really appreciate you for all your kind words. But yeah, it's a lot of work, but definitely it's been very rewarding, and I love my community, and a lot of them are here. Shout out to you guys. I see a lot of familiar faces. I just want to say I just love my community, and I love the Web3 space, and I love all the people that I've met, and they've actually become some of my, like, I would say, lifelong friends, and they're just such an honest, wholesome bunch. So thank you to the community for just supporting the project and supporting me, and believing in our mission and our vision to make the world a happier place. So yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know what else to say, but thank you. Um, yeah, so I guess with that, I think we are okay to wrap up. And first of all, I'd like to thank Willea and Sir for joining us. And oh yeah, sorry, Nelf was supposed to be here, but he had a last minute emergency call with work, so that's why he couldn't make it. But we survived. We survived. And finally, thank you to all our listeners. Thank you for joining, and I hope you guys have taken something of value from this talk. If not, I hope you enjoy your POAP, which you can still claim. Kumo Co. From the POAP application on your phone. So if no one would like to come up and ask a question or speak, then I will adjourn this room. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for next week's season 2, episode 4, topic yet to be decided. Thank you, and have a lovely day, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Thank you for
you.
having
Bye.
me. Bye bye.
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 Bye.